versus me. It was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those odds. Got up and I beat those odds. It's understood. It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. And now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part. Wake up and I do my job. Just how I should.
We're back. Alright, boys and girls, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video on this channel. I think it's been around 3 weeks. As you can see, we're back home. We're back in Pakistan. So what happened was I just kind of decided to take off the last couple of weeks, kind of reset my mind, reset everything, and kind of get back to my roots, get back to, why I started this journey, and kind of sit down with myself, analyze, figure out where things were going wrong, and figure out how to fix them. And I did a lot of reflecting the last couple of weeks, and we have the game plan, and now it's just time to go full on it. So I'm excited. There's a lot of big things coming, but at the end of the day, right, no one's coming to save us, as I always say, as everybody on the internet always says. But it's so true, right? These last 3 weeks I was, to be honest, complete degen. I was smoking weed almost every single day, was high basically the whole month of May, was doing everything, but we're back home. We've dialed back in. We're back on our grind. We're fat as fuck. I'll put up a picture right now. We're gonna get in shape in the next 180 days. We're doing a series on Instagram called Project 180, basically a 180-day challenge where we become the best version of ourselves, physically, mentally, and also financially. We want to make a lot more money, right? And the only way we do that is also by getting our health in priority. Because the one thing I saw was, as my health declined, right, my productivity declined, revenue declined, business decline. So right at the end of the day, we're going to be getting back in shape. And I've said that multiple times, but right, I'm serious about it this time, and we're actually going to get it. I went to the gym yesterday, didn't record anything, been back in Pakistan for around 3-4 days. We're working on that. We're also working on our tech company. We're going full on that, like with stablecoin, AI, things like that. We're building out the consulting business again. We're going to be relaunching that right in a better fashion. I had a pretty detailed chat with an old client of ours who's now a very good friend of mine, Kieran. So Kieran, if you're watching this, shout out to you. He basically just laid it down to me, being like, hey, bro, look, quitting the business, quitting the consulting business is not the way, right? You're leaving a lot of money on the table. You're leaving a lot of value on the table, and you're also not doing what you're supposed to do, as in you can provide so much value to people and help so many people transform their lives, and I want to do that, right? I had a pretty good chat, a sales call yesterday, kind of turned into just me talking to the kid. He was 15 in O levels, and he kind of just told me I was his inspiration, and I've been pushing him to do better and be better with what he's doing, and that kind of opened my eyes to why I started this journey, why I started this channel, and why I started making content, was to show people what you are capable of, because you have so much fucking potential that it's unbelievable, and most people just waste that. So right now, right as I said that, it's time to lock in. We're gonna hop on our laptop, get a bunch of fucking work done, and go from there. But as always, let us get back to fucking work.
I've been making moves and they hard to tell. Acting, yeah, I did it, I don't kiss and tell. Any hating, I'ma wish him well. Got it out the mud, but I never dwelled up.
Alright, boys and girls, currently 12:33 p.m. We are creating some story sequences on our laptop right now for this week. Basically what we do on Saturday, Sunday, and what we're going to be doing moving forward in order to be more productive and get more things done, is we're going to be posting story sequences right every 3 times a week, right? Because story sequences are the best way to actually get a lot more clients, not only for like a consulting business, for an agency as well. We do this, for agency clients as well. We have them post story sequences. So right now I'm just writing down all of the copy. We do this by hand. We don't use ChatGPT or anything, right? Because it's the best way to be authentic. We just use ChatGPT and some AI tools to do spell checking, improve the copy, things like that. But we always do the first draft by hand, right? So right now I'm doing that. Gonna, probably I have 3 done right now. Gonna probably work on 3 more, right? And then choose all the photos and everything, so everything is in the backlog. So when I do need to post, I just go into my camera roll, select the photos I need to do, and then post straight away. So we're working on this right now, and then around 4 p.m. we're going with Tabir. Haven't seen her in actually a month, because I was in the US, right? So we're gonna be going out with her. We're gonna go get some food and have a good time, and then come back home and then work more. But right, it is good to have somewhat of a balance, right? At the end of the day, there's no work-life balance, but right, it's also good to treat yourself. Use the money that you make, right? There's no point of having a lot of money when you don't even spend it on yourself, or even you're not happy with who you are, right? You have to be proud. You have to be happy with who you are and what you do and the money that you make, but you can't be satisfied, or that's going to make you complacent. But right, we're working on this, and then we will go from there. But right, as always, let us get back to work. All right, boys and girls, it is currently 9:21 a.m. and it is officially the 1st of June, which basically means that there are 6 months left in this year, right? Right, if you haven't started getting to work and if you haven't locked in, it is the time to do it. Most of you have probably wasted the last 6 months of the year, are nowhere near where you wanted to be. You set New Year's resolutions, you haven't achieved them, and that's because you haven't put in the work. I'm not gonna say I've achieved my New Year's resolutions either. I wasted a lot of this year, but right, we have 6 months left. It's time to put our head down, get to work, and focus, and achieve what we want to achieve. So right, as always, let us get to work.
10 out of 10, let's wait. I've been going big on the bigs out of state. Do research, check out the back of my plates. I rep so heavy, attack when I take. Still, I'm on that for the long run.
All right, boys and girls, currently 8:26 a.m. We're watching a video by Ryan Cog. I believe that's how you say his last name. Just kind of on how he did $3 million last month with his info business, so that we can actually scale ours in the right way this time, and grow it in the right direction, and grow that, and then use those same systems for the agency, see where things align, and then grow both businesses. Then gonna head to the office probably 4ish, maybe 4:30ish, right, to meet some of the tech team for what we're doing over there, with our tech company that we own as well, because we're helping grow that now and being a lot more involved, right? Multiple businesses, multiple sources of revenue, right? That is the way to go. But right, and then we have a meeting with Umair at 9 a.m. Then we have to talk to one of our editors at 11 a.m. Then we have a client call at 12. So pretty busy day. So I'm gonna do this right now, and then go from there. But let us get back to work.
They say I wouldn't do it like I won't. They say I couldn't do it and they feel. They say I wouldn't do it and I fall. They say I couldn't do it and I did. I'm a champion.
Assalamualaikum, how are you doing? Alhamdulillah, just excited for this coming month. Okay, let's get into it. तो हाँ, इस week का क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं, who's working on what, and direction क्या है, and then I'll kind of go into my stuff after you go over things. All right, it is currently almost 12 o'clock right now. Right, we're hopping in a meeting with one of our rev share clients, basically, where we have actually 50% of the business. So he has around 70,000 followers. So we're gonna just come up with a game plan to scale him to 100 grand a month. Right. So all we have to do is scale him. He already has an existing audience, which is good because that helps us scale pretty easily. He is in the fitness space, which is a bit of a harder space to scale in because it's super saturated, to be honest, but can be done with the right system. So just gonna hop on a call with him and we will go from there. But pretty productive day so far, and then after this call is probably gonna take an hour. I would say after this it's gonna be like 1 p.m. so we'll have lunch, and then after lunch we are gonna be headed out to do some work somewhere, and then we will go from there. Yo, James, how are you? Doing good. It's been a while. No worries, happens. Awesome. Yeah, I was just gonna say, what's been up? Everything good? All right, perfect. Yeah, if you have that in like a document or something, send that over, right? And then I'll just have the team kind of give you an overview of the scripting, right? And then that way you have some stuff to talk about. You could add on to it, obviously, right? Because we want it to be in your own words, but we'll kind of help you give you a format and everything so that it's easy for you to film. Right, short form, right, it's just going to be used to get as many people aware about you, and then YouTube is going to be used to nurture them, right? And then I kind of made a whole story sequence thing about, you know, story sequences that we need to post, because stories are, you know, obviously the best way to get in a ton of leads, right? Like if you, I post a story sequence in the morning for my coaching program, and we've already booked in like 5-6 calls, right? So, you know, we just have Monday, right? It's just posting kind of a result of how, you know, your clients and, you know, hard CTA to DM you, right? So it's like simply posting like a client result and then following up with it for the CTA for the app, and then, you know, using some sort of scarcity about like a price raise or something, even if we're not going to be doing that, right? That's just going to help, you know, make people actually want to, you know, DM you. Tuesday is going to be providing value, kind of showing them why they haven't achieved their desired outcome, you know, what's actually holding them back, digging really deeply into their pain points and making them realize that they need to make a change. Awesome. Yeah. I guess that's it, right? I hope you have, you know, a great rest of the day, and then we'll probably have another chat next Monday. Let's just, you know, have a chat if this time works every Monday, right? We'll just have this as, you know, our weekly call. Awesome. And I'll just create a reoccurring event, and then it'll be in your calendar. Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good. Excited to get to work. All right. Have a great day. Bye. Bye. Yo. Bye. Awesome. Good call. Should be able to get him to 15K this month, right? Which is $7.5 grand for us, $7.5 grand for him. So that is the way. Our boys and girls, currently 9 p.m. We just got back. We spent most of the day at the office with, you know, the tech team, because we're trying to, you know, increase the lead generation there. Then went to the gym, right? We've actually booked in a good amount of meetings today for the info business after the relaunch. Let me just kind of go on Calendly and show you guys kind of what we've been able to do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meetings booked right from one story sequence, which is pretty good. Not as many as I wanted to, but we did get a lot of leads in, right? We have around 25 active conversations going, so right, give or take, that should also lead into 10 more meetings, which is good. We have 2 zins in our mouth, so excuse if I am slurring my words. We also booked in a couple other things. Wait, this isn't refresh, so let me actually refresh my Calendly. We have 1, 2, yeah, okay, yeah, basically 6 meetings booked today, which is pretty good, right? And then we are gonna just do some more work. We have a meeting at 10 p.m., which we should be able to close at like 1 to 1.5K, right? Nothing insane, but basically all profit from that project, so that's pretty good. And yeah, let's just get, you know,
I see
things
stars that
done.
look like me. Take a guess how I live. Bet every time you be wrong, you couldn't walk a mile in these kicks. You don't even know the path where I've been. Talk about rolling coins and make ends. Took a lot of L's but never did quit. Taking on the chin and look at my strength. Place that bet, the chips are all.
And girls, it is currently 9:58 a.m. 9:59. Basically, we have a bunch of video editing hiring calls right in the first half of today, so we're just going through those right now. We had one already, didn't really like the guy, didn't really seem like a good fit culture wise, so we have a couple more interviews, so we're gonna just hop in those and take it from there. But let us get to it. Assalamu Hassan. कैसे हैं? Alhamdulillah. So let's just get straight into the interview. I'm Umar, I'm the CEO of Creator Hive, and this is Umair, he's the creative director at the company. So we're just gonna ask you a couple of questions, see if you're a good fit, and kind of go from there. But for that to happen, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your experience, kind of who you are, what you do, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, it is currently 10:30. We just finished showering. We're here with Junior. And yeah, we're just gonna get some more work done. We have another hiring call at 11, so we have like 25 minutes-ish before that. So we're just gonna put 2 zins in our mouth, get some more work done, and then go from there. We have to go with Ariba for like kind of lunch/dinner at 4, so we'll go with her then. But before then, we're just gonna get a bunch of work done. We have a sales call at 2, so hopefully we close that at decent retainer, and we will go from there. But as always, let us pop one of these in our mouth, and then we will get some more work done and go from there. Alright, let's get back to work.
Take me back to how I used to be. And that just been the way
guys, it is currently 7 p.m. as you can see. We just finished at the gym. We're gonna grab some coffee, head home. We have a sales call at 8:30. While we were working out, we actually booked another call, so that's around 3 calls for the day that have been booked so far. Should end the day around 5 calls, so pretty happy with the progress. But let's go grab some coffee, and then as always, let us get back to work. Alright boys, so while we're driving, why not talk to you guys a little bit. So right, things are going good, right? We just relaunched the info business. That is doing pretty good. We're booking in a couple calls a day, right? We've collected some cash. We should probably end the week at like $25,000. Agency is doing better as well, right? We're booking in, you know, a couple calls a day for that, because we're fixing a couple systems that were broken, which is, you know, what you need to do when you're building a business. So things are back on track. We're back on YouTube as well. You guys are going to see that as well. We're going to be growing this channel quite a lot. We're going to be posting a lot more, you know, value content for you guys to show you guys actually how to build an agency, things like that. So if you're not already subscribed, right, what are you doing? Subscribe, right? It's going to be really relevant. It's going to show you guys exactly what we do, right? So you guys can implement those same systems, right? And then we will, you know, you guys can implement them, grow your agency, and, you know, make a lot of money, right? The, you know, reason for that is obviously, right, it's going to help us, you know, generate a lot more leads for the info business, right? I'm going to say that straight out. But it's also going to give you guys a lot of value and, you know, help us grow, you know, the personal brand, get a lot more clients. Because what we saw was when we were pushing the info business, we were also getting a lot more agency clients, because, right, we work with a lot of entrepreneurs, right? And once they saw that, okay, this guy, you know, this kid, right, this man also pushes a lot of info, right? He sells info as well, right? We want to work with him because he understands the same systems, and, right, then we could just apply those things, and we were able to get our clients a lot of good results. So, right, it's the best way to grow the business for us, right? From what we've seen, is to do both simultaneously. So that's why we're going, you know, full force into both. And, you know, we have 6 months left in the year, and we don't want to waste them, right? And I, you know, urge you guys to, right, lock in for these next 6 months, right? It can change your fucking life, because all you really need is 6 months where you're dialed the fuck in, right? And you can achieve whatever the fuck you want. You can put any goal on your vision board, and if you're, you know, actually putting in the work every single day, and, you know, putting in smart work, not just hard work, because there's a difference between both, right? You can achieve whatever you want in these next 6 months. So, right, I'm also going to be, you know, probably launching a challenge for you guys where, you know, we're going to have a cash prize as well, right, for the winner, right? But I'll talk more about that later, you know, in the announcement video. But I kind of want to give you guys a small glimpse of that before, you know, we do it, right? Because you guys are, you know, main priority, right? You guys watch me every single week, right? And I want you guys to know before everybody else does. So, right, as you know, we're just going for coffee right now. Gonna grab that, and then we will go from there. But let's go get some fucking coffee, because I am fucking dead right now. I'm just gonna pop this in my mouth because I haven't had one in a bit, and I am craving some nicotine. Good morning, boys and girls. It's currently 6:18 in the morning. We're up. We're gonna pop this in our mouth and get straight to work. We've already meditated. We've already done our morning routine, and it's time to get to work. We booked in 4 calls yesterday, which is pretty good. So we're gonna hopefully book in for 4 more today, right, with the systems that we have in place and the story sequences that we'll be posting. So let us get to work. All right, boys, let me give you guys, you know, some advice right now, right? Kid scheduled an interview with us, right? He wanted a job, right? You're probably watching this video because I know you watch the content. So here's me directly speaking to you, man. Look, if you pick a time, be at that time. Be early, right? You really just texted me that you fell asleep. That shows me your work ethic and, you know, the way that you know, hold yourself accountable and shows your discipline, right? We don't want people like that at our company, right? If you cannot show up to the call that you scheduled yourself, you pick the time, right? Unfortunately, it's not going to move forward, right? Guys, time is so fucking important, right, it shows everything about you, right? Anywhere I go, I show up at least 5 to 10 minutes earlier, right? Even though my time is valuable, I can make a lot of money in those 5 to 10 minutes, right? And that's not me bragging or saying anything, but that's like based on proof and evidence, right? But I still show up on, early, because it's better to be early than late, right? Timing is fucking everything, guys. Fix your fucking timing, your life will fucking fix. You guys want to achieve such big goals, but like most of you guys are so fucking lazy. Like, that's me being harsh with you, but you guys are so fucking lazy, right? With your time, you guys are so undisciplined, and you guys want to achieve such big goals, right? But until you fix that one small thing, right, nothing is gonna change your life. All right, gotta get back to fucking work, but I'm fucking pissed off right now. All right, boys, I think I'm gonna just say boys because there's like one, not even a percent girls watching. But if you're a girl, shout out to you. Right, 11:41 right now. We have a sales call in 20 minutes that we should close at like 1,500 ish. Right, it's for the consulting business, so pretty happy about that. If we can close that 1,500, it's like what, 5 lakhs around, so pretty fucking good. Right, then we have a CH sales call at nighttime, which we should close at 5 grand. So it should be, 6.5 to 7 grand a day. So happy about that. And yeah, inshallah, we will go from there. All right, just finished the call. It went well. We closed him at the 5K package, basically. So he's going to be paying 1,500 upfront, and then the rest over the next couple of months, right? He's going to be sending $750 today, $750 on Friday. Once this payment comes in from Payoneer, we took a half as the deposit, obviously. Right now we're going out with Ariba, and then we will come back home, get more work done, then have to go for a dinner with the sales team for the other company that we're running, right? So might take you guys along. I'll put a couple of clips in here, but yeah, let us get to it. Alright, boys, it is currently Thursday. We haven't filmed all day, but right, it has been a pretty good day. We've made around $2,500 for the day. Nothing crazy, but right, these are just some payments that we got in that would be by some clients. We have another call at night, which will probably close for 5 grand, so it might be like an 8 grand day, which is good, right? Nothing too crazy, but nothing too bad. So right, we're at office right now. We're just working on a couple of things. So as always, let's get back to work. We're also fasting today, so I'm kind of dead, but let's get back. Alright, just wrapped up the interview with Sharon. Basically, was able to go from $6,000 to $42,000 a month with the program, and we just filmed that. Really good interview. Probably gonna be live later this week, right? So you guys will get to see that. But right, he has like one client, and that client's paying $42,000 a month, which is over 8 crore rupee, right? If you're from Pakistan, so pretty insane. Right now we have a sales call with one of our client's managers, right? He wants to start his podcast, and then he has another client that he wants to refer to us as well, right? So we're going by word of mouth. So right now we're just reviewing some videos as well, just giving the final go ahead. And yeah, pretty productive day so far. We're just gonna hop in the call, probably put a zini in our mouth and go from there. Alright, look, we just posted a job hiring post on our story, and we're getting a ton of applicants, and that's why I highly recommend building a personal brand if you're looking to, build an agency, info business, coaching business, or any sort of business, right? It helps you just get in so many qualified people who want to work with you, not the agency, not for the job positions, but for you. And those are the best people that you can have on your team because they're aligned with you and your vision, and it just helps streamline things. So right, we've posted it less than 30 minutes ago, and we already have like 35 people who've applied, which is amazing. So right, what we do then, right, is they're going to be sending their CV to us, right, including their portfolio and a short Loom video basically explaining why we should pick them for a position. If from there my project manager and me go through the CVs and we like them, right, then we move them to the first interview, which they do with HR, right? If they pass that interview, then they have a final interview with me and my team after completing the trial task that we would send to them. Alright, as it is currently 11:30, we are now headed to bed, so I will catch you guys tomorrow because we have a closing call for a client at 7 a.m. I believe. Let me just check the time so I don't fucking miss that, and I can put an alarm, even though we're probably gonna be up at that time. Yeah, 7 a.m. We're gonna probably close that around 5 grand. Should be another 8 to 10 grand day tomorrow, so that would be $20,000 for the week. So pretty fucking good week so far. But let's head to bed, and I will see you guys in the morning. Alright boys, currently Sunday today, but I'm gonna end the vlog here. Been a good week. We made good money, right? Things are back in track. We're back, you know, on YouTube, and I'm excited. Lots of growth ahead, right? I'm gonna end this one here, right? Excited to be back, right? Keep on crushing it. 6 months left in the year. We're locked in. Hope you guys are locked in with me, and let's make this bread. But as always, I'm rooting for you. I'm praying for you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.